Okay, good evening everyone. So, magandang gabi ng Biyernes po sa inyong lahat, mga mommies na nakikinig po ngayon sa amin. Magandang gabi po sa inyong lahat. Happy weekend, Junior, and thank you for tuning in for the last installation po ng aming series, Parenting, Motherhood, and ADHD with partnership po with ADHD Society of the Philippines. So, okay. So let's start this. So I'm gonna introduce. I have here with me tonight, Momshy Irene and Momshy Jules. So, would you care po to introduce a little bit about yourself? Let's start with Mommy Jules.
Yes, hi, good evening. I am Julian. I am a parent. I am a mom of two kids. Uh, they are just 3 and 10 months. So, maliliit pa. I'm also an adult with ADHD. So, I got diagnosed just a few years ago. So, there. And also, I'm an occupational therapist.
Nice, nice. Okay,
Mhm.
so all right, let's go with Mommy Irene. Mom, a little bit of introduction about yourself then as well.
Hi everyone, good evening. My name is Irene. I'm a mom of three kids, 16, 13, and 9. I was diagnosed with ADHD in November of last year. And yung isang son ko was diagnosed when he was around 5.5. Yeah.
Mhm. Mhm.
Oh, all right, all right. So, okay, you can hear my baby in the background. So, a little bit of introduction then. Ako po ay isang mommy din na was recently diagnosed with ADHD last year, December 2021. So, turning 1 year na yung aking diagnosis. And ayun, so I'm really spending my time and devoting my energy into raising awareness because I believe that would really help a lot of families, a
Mhm.
lot of mommies and a lot of children din pala as well to be able to navigate themselves and their lives with ADHD. So, the discussion tonight are from the questions from our viewers from the last two online podcasts that we did with Sab and Coach Heidi. So these are very great questions. So we are going to discuss this. Parang magandang buhay lang po. So there's question and then we're gonna discuss our own answers. So okay, and also, by the way, if you are hearing this podcast right now and you realize that your question was picked, just message me. Or after this, actually, we are going to email the winners that sent their questions. Very wonderful questions. So, yep. All right, let's start this. For the first question. So, I'm going, sorry, just a disclaimer. The best question will be asked last. Okay?
Mhm.
So, all right, for the first question, a child who was diagnosed with ADHD and teachers are concerned because he displays hitting behavior such as pushing, punching, etc. with his classmates. So, ang question po ni mommy is, will it be helpful if the child be removed from the regular class setting and placed into a one-on-one special education class? So, mommies, what is your take on this?
Mhm. Ah, Sige, I'll go first. Um, so in my in my field as an occupational therapist, we deal with a lot of children
Mm-hmm.
that may ganitong behavior, displaying aggression, and also it can be also a display of impulsivity. They act before they think. So with this
Mm.
scenario, I'm wondering what the age of the child is kasi. So it depends for me. Um, Hindi ko rin kasi alam yung background nung kid
Yeah.
or student, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So it's hard to say if yung gravity ba ng kailangan gawin is to have a one-on-one specifically na SPED class. For me naman, ADHD, it's not like other conditions kasi like autism or
Mm-hmm.
yung mga ganun klase na nasa spectrum. ADHD kasi, they're fully aware of their condition. Um, So ang
Oh.
mangyayari, if you are to put the child to a one-on-one or even just a group SPED class, for me, the concern would be the socialization and also the self-esteem. Um, Yun kasi, parang for me, are there other ways that we can address that for me? For example, it depends kasi kung preschool ba to level, there could be teacher aides that could help them monitor the behavior para kunwari they usually act out when the child plays in the playground pag time na to play in the playground kunwari or in the classroom pag may nagkuha ng toy niya or ng gamit niya
Mm-hmm.
doon lumalabas. So maybe a teacher aide would anticipate or monitor that already yung behavior, parang pwedeng tabihan niya of some sort, di ba?
Mm-hmm.
Para hindi magulo yung buong klase. If ano naman siya, parang medyo grade school age niya, school age na 7 years old, ganyan. For me, ano na siya nun very aware na siya of
Okay.
his condition and his, yun, yung, ano niya, yung ginagawa niya. So, if bigla siya i-isolate or i-pull out because of that, parang, yun naman, yung concern ko naman is more of the self-esteem naman ng bata.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
yun, baka merong ibang ways na pwede natin magawa inside the classroom or uh, making the child accountable to his actions too.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, yung sa teacher, di ba? Pwedeng doon siya ilagay sa harap ng classroom, katabi ng teacher para if ever meron siyang mga problems or meron siyang behavior na lumalabas, pwedeng i-call yung attention by tapping the table, parang
Mm.
ganon. So,
Yes.
for me kasi hindi ko alam yung gravity. Pero kung pushing, punching, ang ano ko lang talaga nun is the safety of the entire class, di ba?
Oh,
So
yes,
yun, not
yes.
just yung siya, pero kasi yung safety rin, yung importante. Because we don't want the other parents naman to be, maging problematic din because of that.
Yeah.
So, yun, ganon. Parang it depends for me.
Oh,
Pero
yes.
meron pa rin meron tayong pwedeng magawa. So,
Oh,
yun.
okay. Yes, yes. Actually, I have questions na rin eh. Pero I want to hear Mommy Irene first. Kung meron din siyang insight about this.
Masyadong maraming kulang na information about the situation of the child. Kasi parang um, meron siyang ganong behavior. You can't just pull him out. Kasi nga, like what Jules said, ilang taon na ba siya? Diba?
Mm,
Ilang taon na
yes.
ba siya?
Yes.
Pangalawa, have you tried to figure out ano yung reason bakit siya nag-push and punch? And
Mm.
if you
Mm-hmm.
just take the child away without even trying to find out what's happening, what provoked him from doing that or her,
Mm-hmm.
how do
Yeah.
you change the behavior?
Mm-hmm.
Because that child will need to understand what happened, what caused this issue.
Mm-hmm.
Kailangan mo pa rin siyang kausapin, and it doesn't matter how old they are, you will still need to talk to them, di ba?
Mm-hmm.
And
Yes.
explain things, and they need to understand yung
Mm-hmm.
cause and yung effect ng kanilang actions. And
Mm-hmm.
it's not just gumawa ka ng mali, huhugutin ka na doon. And tama yung sinabi ni Jules, yung what about the self-esteem? Because kung wala naman siyang diferensya pero meron siyang ganun, you don't know sa bahay ba, nakikita niya yan at ginagaya niya.
Oh, yeah,
Things like that,
yeah.
di ba? Those are
Mm-hmm.
also things na we would have to consider. Kasi baka sa school, ipinagbabawal siya ng teachers, obviously hindi pwede yon. Pero baka sa
Mm-hmm.
bahay naman nila, normal yon. 'Di
Mm-hmm.
ba? And
Yeah.
that child has to still learn that it's not healthy to do those things. So, kulang masyado ng information na kung ginagawa niya to, huhugutin na ba natin siya palabas dun sa classroom, ililipat na natin siya. There's still a little bit more of investigation needed for that.
Yes, yes. So,
Mm-hmm.
so from what I'm hearing from your response, Moms, Irene, and Jules, is that before making any sudden decision like this, like pulling the kid out of the school or out of class, as parents, we also have the responsibility to look at all sides. Like,
Mm-hmm.
ask the child, bakit ka nananakit? Kasi maybe,
Yes.
probably because binubuli siya. right?
Yeah.
Probably may sinasabi sa kanyang masakit or inaasar siya sa class. Maybe, pag tinanong yung child, maybe sabihin niya, I have this, I don't know what to do, di ko alam gagawin, mommy, ang gadami kong energy. Or, maybe the parent who asked this also has to double check then with their family setting or their
Yeah.
own family, di ba? Kung if they,
Yeah.
are they also calm din ba? Or is this a
Yeah.
behavior that the child copies from the parents?
Yeah.
Di ba?
Tama. Kasi baka sa bahay nila, normal yun. Tapos,
Mm,
dito naninibago siya. Kasi kung kunyari, bagong salang lang siya sa kindergarten, di ba? Hindi pa siya
yes.
masyadong marunong mag-socialize.
Oh,
And I think it's good to expose kids into different situations because they also have to learn whether or not they have ADHD. It doesn't matter. Pero yung mapunta sila sa conflict situations that they have to learn to kind of, just maybe think also, and yung mga ganung bagay, you teach that along the way. Hindi naman yan
mm.
nile-lecture at the breakfast table. They really have to be in a situation na parang, okay, matututo sila na hindi pala kailangan sumuntok kagad, pwede pala makipag-usap. Yung mga ganun ba?
Yes, yes, yes. And also mga mommies ha, just coming from an experience din kasi before I had this classmate na lalaki siya and may ADHD siya. Ang sabi niya sa akin, what his parents did is in-involve siya sa sports. Kasi nga parang ganito din yung background niya eh. Mapanakit daw siya nung bata, hindi mapakali. So what his parents did, in-involve siya sa Muay Thai. Tapos parang sabi niya, pag nakakapag-exercise siya during the morning, kalmado siya the whole day. So what is your take on
Yeah,
that then?
that's good. Kasi yung kahit I mean, especially if they have ADHD, no, there are many non-medical activities that they can do, like, being in the sun is one, or yung nakaka-increase ng BDNF protein sa utak. Maraming non-medical activities na pwedeng gawin. Music is one of them. Yan, sports. Kasi especially kung sports, nababawasan yung aggression nila. Nagkakaroon yun, na-channel yung extra energy, napapagod sila. So, they sleep better and all that. Nagkakaroon sila ng healthy outlet.
Yeah, that's right. Yung
Yan.
physical exercise talaga, madami siyang well-known benefits eh. So,
Yes.
it could really boost your child's executive functioning. Basta yung
Yeah.
na-fuel siya in a right channel. Just to share, actually, ako, myself, my mom actually told me na yung preschool ako, I'm the type na tahimik. Pero ilang beses pinatawag ng parent ko kasi bigla ko daw tinusok yung classmate ko ng pencil. Ganyan. Tapos, hindi naman papatawag na yung parent ko, yung mom ko, pero yung pala, nasampal ko na pala ng 2 beses yung teacher ko sa school. So, pero ako yung tahimik lang na bata, iwan mo ako sa isang tabi, okay lang ako doon. Pero may mga ganun akong outburst. So, doon lumabas yung nag-start ng childhood ko na nakitaan ng history of ADHD nung tinatanong na ako ng doctor. More of, I think, lumalabas siya dahil sa, I guess, sa emotional control, emotional dysregulation, di ba?
Yeah.
Siguro, hindi ko rin alam kung ano yung nangyari. Siguro, ginulo ko, meron akong ginagawa, ginulo ko, ayoko ginugulo ko, or alam ko yung nasampal ko yung teacher ko kasi gusto ko umuwi pero hindi ako pinapauwi, parang ganyan. Kasi syempre, nasa school ka pa, nasa labas yung parent, ganyan. So, lumalabas pala, yun, nagiging the-halt pala ako pag gano'n. So, tahimik lang ako, parang shy girl ako, pero pag pinakilaman mo ako, mapanakit pala. So, yeah, actually, yun. It happens talaga, especially I'm a girl, di ba? Parang you wouldn't see me very hyperactive kasi I'm an inattentive type eh. So, praise God naman, dun sa school ko naman, di naman nila ako pinalayas. Parang they collaborated with my parents.
Yes.
Siguro, they found ways how to deal with me. Na parang siguro, pag time na talaga na lumabas or papakita lang nila yung parents ko, andyan lang yung parents mo, parang ganun siguro. Or naghihintay lang si daddy sa labas. Or pag meron siguro akong classmates, siguro, I'm not sure kung anong ginawa nila. Pero, to be fair, yung classmate ko na yun, nakita yung mom ko, nang matanda na kami at this age siya. natatandaan niya pa rin ako na, opo, yung anak niyo po, sinaksak ako ng pencil.
That's
So,
a
parang
very
ako,
good memory.
yeah, sabi ko, okay, ako hindi ko naman siya, hindi ko nga natatandaan, kinukwento lang nila sa akin, sabi ko, okay, sorry naman. So, yun, I mean, it happens talaga. I guess, doon lumalabas yung pagiging ADHD ko nung bata ako. Pero yun, there are ways talaga to go around. Hindi naman ibig sabihin na naging, since ginawa niyo ng anak mo, masamang tao na siya or may intention siyang masama. Maybe we need to
Yeah.
understand muna why it happened, what's happening in the house. I guess sa akin, buti na lang my parents are fully aware of what's happening in the school. So I guess in the house, baka kinausap nila ako or tinuruan nila ako ng social skills training man lang. I mean, sa bahay, di ba, nag-role-playing kami or pinagsabihan ako. So yun, that's what I do kasi with my child naman.
Yes.
Through role-playing, pag naglalaro kami with dolls, kasi napapansin ko rin siya, pag kunwari nasa labas kami with other kids, pag
Mm-hmm.
nilaro yung laruan niya, kunwari sa Kidzuna, hindi naman namin toys yun, toys yun ng Kidzuna, di ba? Pero pag kunwari, bigla may tumabi sa kanya, tapos nakilaro sa kanya, tapos ginalaw yung mga toys, ganyan, nagagalit siya na parang sa kanya kasi set up yun bakit ginugulo. Pero yun, I tell her na, yun nga, it will happen because, yun nga, hindi naman sa amin yung place. And that's also healthy rin for her na to understand na we should share, we should also
Yes.
parang socialize with other kids. If they want to play with you and get the toys, then say, okay, let's play together. Parang ganon. So,
Mm.
um, nakikitaan ko rin kasi yung daughter ko ng gano'n na very strong din siya. There were incidents din na she hurt other kids during a play date in the house. Buti na lang, yung pinipili din namin kasi makaka-play date niya which is dapat yun yung ginagawa ng parents. So
Mm-hmm.
that it's a safe environment for everybody. So yun, parang hindi ko naman siya inisipan na grabe yan, sama naman ng anak ko. Inintindi ko rin bakit niya ginagawa yung ginagawa niya. So baka
Yeah.
hindi niya kasi alam kung paano makitungo sa ibang bata. So,
Mm-mm.
ituro naman. And then the next time, hindi na niya ginawa ulit.
Yes, yes. From ano no, Mom's Juice, parang from what I'm hearing from you is that kahit bata pa lang yung anak natin, we need to let them feel na we are willing to validate their feelings and hear them out first.
Yes,
You
yes.
know, before anything. So doon, so sa mommy na sumagot ng question na to, first and foremost, mommy, look into your child muna. Ask what your child is feeling, bakit siya nananakit, what happened, kasi maybe nabubully siya sa school, kasi ako din, nabubully din ako before sa school eh. So, there are things din talaga na ginawa ko, I'm not really proud of them, pero I can say kasi nabully ako sa school. 'Di ba?
Mm-hmm.
And also, you know, look into your family din. Ano ba yung environment ng bata pag nasa bahay? Kasi, sabi din ng mga teachers ko before, kung ano daw yung pinakikita sa school, yun din daw yung nasa bahay din. Like, most of the time, ganun daw. So, ayun, mami, no? Ask your child first. Talk to them. It's not, walang pinipiling edad yung validation and respect and hearing
Mm-hmm.
them out. Kaya
Mm-hmm.
even my own baby, kahit 2 years old siya, I make sure na I let her feel na validated siya, respected din siya, na don't think agad na okay, ito agad yung solusyon. Kailangan ko i-pull out yung anak ko from the regular class setting and kailangan ko siyang ilagay sa SPED. So yun, no, sana nakatulong na number one, ask your child. Number two, seek for other possible interventions. Maybe put them into sport, you know, every end of the class or maybe every weekends din as well. May ibang avenue para ma-release yung energy. And three, look into your family din as well kasi baka mamaya kaya din siya nananakit kasi may nakikita siya sa mga kasama sa bahay na hindi rin appropriate. So, yun.
Mm-hmm.
Yung ganda, no? First question pa lang. Ang dami ko rin natututunan. Personally. Alright.
Nakita niyo pa yung background ko tuloy.
Oo, yes, di ba? Napakaganda kasi occupational therapist, to. Libreng consultation na po ito, mga mommy. Pero
may
ano,
hope naman, may hope.
yes, may hope. Napaka-important ng hope. Alright, sige. Second question. Ito maganda to mga mommies kasi involved na tayo dito eh. If there are times that you find yourself not in sync and your children is on the same state, how do you manage to cope up? So, I guess, ako naman, kasi nung
Mhm.
first question kayong dalawa, ako naman.
Mhm.
um, one thing that I do is I accepted the fact na I have those tendencies as a mom with ADHD, babae pa, hormonal pa, 'di ba? I have accepted the fact that I have that tendency. But I don't disregard my capability or freedom to choose in all situations. Kahit na parang sobrang frustrating kasi si baby, kinukulit ako pag may ginagawa ako. And that's also one of my pet peeves na pag may ginagawa ako, please don't disturb me kasi napuputol yung chain of thought ko. Pero si baby does not understand that about me. And syempre, bata, gusto magpakarga kay nanay, gusto maglambing kay nanay, gusto makipaglaro kay nanay. So, there are times talaga na I'm really frustrated. And several times already na si baby nagdo-throw ng tantrums, ako, malapit na maputol yung pasensya ko. Tao tayong lahat. I mean, di ba? Parang
Mhm.
pagod na ako sa maghapong trabaho. Ang anak ko, nagtantrum kasi ayaw kumain at gusto mag-TV. Tao lang
Mhm.
din ako na mapuputol na yung pasensya ko. Pero,
Mhm.
to be honest, hindi ko talaga kayang gawin with my own will strength. Talagang every night I pray to God na, Lord, sana bukas hindi ko mabulyawan, masigawan ng anak ko. Talaga. So, nandun yung kinausap ko rin si husband. Very important yung external support structure and someone na kasama mo sa bahay that sees or understands what you feel and what you do. So, meron kaming parang cue na sinet na pag sinabi ko, love, di ko kaya. Di ko na kaya. Ang gagawin
Mhm.
namin, sasabihin ni hubby, go to the room, i-open mo yung aircon, mag-relax ka, pag okay ka na, tsaka ka bumaba. Ganon. It's never wrong to walk out of the room. Even if nagtatantrum pa si baby. Kesa naman sa sigawan mo ang anak mo at may masabi ka na hindi mo na mababawi.
Mhm.
That's one of my principles talaga in life na pinanghahawakan ko eh. I don't want to say things that I cannot, di ko mababawi. Or ayoko siyang pakitaan ng galit muna. Dapat
Mhm.
kung meron siyang nagawang mali, I can calmly say, na ipaliwanag bakit siya kailangan paluin, bakit siya kailangan disiplinahin. And yun, kasi may time din na ano ko eh, nung hindi pa po ako diagnosed. Nasigawan ko si baby talaga no na dalawa lang kami. I know maraming mommies din na makaka-relate sa akin. Si hubby panggabi, and then nagtrabaho din ako buong maghapon. And then si baby ayaw matulog. I think she was 7 months at the time or 6. And then nasigawan ko talaga siya ng sobra-sobra. Tapos
Mhm.
talagang naiyak ako after kasi ayokong gawin yun. Pero ayaw niyang matulog. Nasigawan ko siya. So, andun yung every time naririnig niya na ako sumisigaw, nananahimik na siya. So, until now, I'm trying to repair that damage. So, yun. One tip talaga na external people around you na can be your external frontal lobe whenever you're emotional. Make use sila na sasabihin sa'yo and just simply walk out of the room and breathe. So,
Mhm.
ayun. Ikaw po, Mom's Irene, ano po ang tip po ninyo kung na-experience nyo to one time?
Um, well, I try my best na pag talagang sisirit na ako, aalis muna ako.
Yun din,
There were
no?
times na, especially nung first time mama ko, isa pa lang siya. There were times na pag nagwala siya, I would pick her up, put her on my lap, and I would just hold her. It's me saying it's okay na magwala ka. Kasi you have
Yeah.
to also give that emotion, yung anger, you need to give it space. Yung tipong hindi naman pwedeng yung pag
Mm.
nagpakita siya ng anger, papagalitan mo siya or you make her feel na it's not good to express it.
Oh,
So,
yes.
I
Mhm.
found na when I did that, yung kinarga ko siya tapos niligay ko siya sa lap ko, kasi parang walang sense. Hindi, at that time, I'm not sure how, baka wala pa siyang 1 year. Parang walang sense naman
Mm-mm.
nakausapin siya or
Mm-mm.
i-explain sa kanya. So I would just pick her up, put her on my lap, and then just hold her. Parang I just
Mm.
let her cry. And I found that many times talagang mas mabilis siyang kumalma. Hindi ko siya
Mm.
sinasabayan. And for me, I remember to help myself kasi ang feeling ko pag umiiyak na siya, ang lakas-lakas niya. Parang naririnig kami ng
Yeah.
buong building.
Mhm.
Of course, hindi totoo
Yes.
yun. Pero ang feeling ko parang naririnig kami ng lahat ng nasa paligid namin kasi ang lakas-lakas niya. And I had to stand. Pag kunyari, meron akong sinabi, okay, not now. Mamaya, you can have chocolates after lunch. Yung I can remember one particular incident na nanggaling kami sa playground. Siguro pagod na siya, gutom na siya, nagkasabay-sabay na. So, pinapakain ko siya, ayaw niyang kumain, gusto niya yung chocolates.
Mhm.
Sabi ko, you can have the chocolates after you eat. Ayaw niya, nagwawala siya, nag-iikot siya sa sahig, gano'n. Ako gutom na ako. So sabi ko, sige, you can join mommy when you're ready. Pero ako kakain na ako. And then I remember meron akong clock dun sa dining table. Nilagay ko sa harap ko kasi I knew na sandaling-sandali na siya magwawala. Pero in the moment na nagwawala siya, it feels like it's forever.
Oh.
Pero sabi ko, malaman nga kung gaano katagal tong tantrum na to. So nilagay ko yung, di ba? Nagkakaroon ka ng kung ano-anong ideas and tricks. So nilagay ko yung clock in front of me while I was eating. Nasa likod ko siya, hindi ko siya makita kasi nagwawala siya doon sa harap ng sofa. And it was not even, I think, 5 minutes. Wala siyang 5 minutes. Napagod siya. Tapos parang na-realize niya wala siyang mararating.
Yeah.
Gutom na siya, nakahain na yung pagkain. So umakit na siya doon sa chair niya, tapos pinahiran niya yung luha niya, so kumain siya. And then after she ate, we made a big deal out of it. Kasi hindi niya alam, bibigyan namin ba siya ng chocolate or hindi. Nung natapos na siyang kumain, saka kami biglang, yay! Now it's time for chocolate! Para kumbaga ma-reinforce yung good behavior na you have to wait. Kasi hindi ko naman sinabing hindi ka kakain ng chocolate. Sabi ko, after lunch or after dinner, whenever that was.
Oh.
Diba? So, yun yung madalas na ginagawa ko. I would look at the clock. And I knew, from then on, sige, mo siya pag wala. 2 minutes lang yun, tapos na. Diba? So, nagkakaroon ka ng parang, okay lang, hindi naman magtatagal yan, 2 minutes lang, tapos na. Ganon.
Yes, remind na mabilis lang ang 5 minuto.
Mabilis lang. Kasi wala namang bata. Actually, I mean, depende rin sa per household, pero in my case, hindi siya tumatagal kasi talagang hindi ko pinapansin simulat sa poll. And I was always consistent with it. Sinabi kong hindi talaga. Hindi ko binabawi. Kasi yung 2 minutes tantrum na yan, magiging 45 minutes yan pag paiba-iba ka. Kasi sasabihin niya, wow, sulit pala magwala. Nakukuha ko din after 15 minutes. Nakukuha ko din yung gusto ko. So talagang tinitiis ko siya. So nung nakita niya na gano'n ng consistency na tinitiis ko siya, ay nakita ko naman consistency, hindi siya tumatagal ng 5 minutes. I knew na, okay, easy. Sige lang. Ganon.
OMG. Actually, meron din po akong natutunan sa inyo, Ma'am Irene. So, bibili na po ako ng clock.
Ng timer.
May timer. Tapos may kami, journal ka today, 0.5 seconds lang.
Iga-graph ko pa po siya. Yes.
Oo, may graph.
Okay, ito po ang mean deviation po namin for this week.
Average time ko.
2 minutes. Ang goal po natin next month ay 1.5 minutes. Naging technical bigla. Pero I love it.
Kasi I also observed it with my friends. Kasi hindi ako nakikialam sa mga friends ko pag dinidiscipline ko yung mga kids nila. I would just silently observe. And I could see kung sino yung papalit-palit ng desisyon. Sila yung mga pinakamatagal magwala yung bata. Ayun talagang, Diyos ko po, maabot sila ng kalahating oras. Ibiro mo yung screen na yun. And I think most kids are smart. Pag nakita nila, wala akong mararating every time gagawin ko to. Hindi siya magpapakatagal. Ang hirap-hirap kayang maghihiyaw ng ganun. Sa lalamunan. Diba, super effort yun. It takes all their energy.
Oh, yes.
Diba?
Yes.
So, they're smart. They're not going to continue something na walang success.
Oh, yes. Yes, mommy. Actually, yan din yung tinuro sa akin ni Habi. Si Habi po ang nagsabi sa akin. So, ganun din. Pag nagwawala si baby. Pero talagang minsan talaga, aaminin ko, may times talaga na hindi ko kaya. Hindi ko talaga kayang makarinig ng ganung ingay, ganung iyak. Not because I hate my child. it's because talagang nasi-stir up yung aking utak for some reason. Sensitive ako
Mhm.
sa ganung noise. So, yun, kay akot sa akin, walk away, kay mommy, meron siyang physical clock sa harapan niya para ma-remind
Mhm.
siya na matatapos din. Ikaw, ma'am si Jules, ano ang one tip mo or one trick mo to handle that?
First of all, I think na ano talaga it's very true yung saying na you cannot give what you don't have. So, uh, if I know that I am out of sync, I know kasi may triggers eh. Especially in the morning, pagkakagising mo pa lang, wala ka pang kape, ganyan.
Yeah.
Sila kasi ilang oras na silang gising doon,
Yeah.
mga 3 oras na silang gising. Tapos ako
Oh,
kakagising ko lang kasi nagbe-breastfeed pa ako sa gabi. So, sa
yes.
umaga ako bumabawi pag gising na sila, doon naman ako nakakatulog.
Mm.
Um, So yun, syempre paglabas ko ng room, parang sometimes andyan na, lalalala, ang dami nang nangyayari. So ako, dun ako nararattle na parang,
Mm.
sandali lang guys, kakising ko lang.
Yes, same tayo,
Oo,
moms.
oo,
Yeah.
kaya ginagawa ko, before I go out the room, I expect na them to be like that. So, medyo parang putting on the armor of God na ako, na parang, okay Lord, ready for battle na ako. Pag lumabas na ako ng kwarto, ganyan. So, pag
Yes.
hindi ako ready, hindi ako lalabas ng kwarto. Parang, sige, dito muna, namnamin ko muna yung quiet, yung ganyan.
Oh,
Oo.
yes. Yes.
Yung ano kasi, yung anak ko kasing isa, yung panganay, medyo ano siya, nasa clingy side siya, na very touchy, ganyan. Ako
Mm.
naman, it's the noise and the tactile input, yung touch. Doon ako na out of sync. Pag sinisiksik ako, yung parang kasi nagbe-breastfeed na ako the
Yes.
entire night. Tapos sisiksikin mo pa ako na parang, I need my space, wait lang. Gusto niya ko na rin pag
Mm.
nakaupo ka sa upuan, sisiksik pa siya sa'yo na parang, Mom, what are you doing? Yeah, ganun.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yan. So, medyo nakakairita siya in a way kasi gusto mo yung peace in the morning. For me, ganun kasi ako eh. Pero, yun, hindi talaga siya possible talaga. Siyempre, excited din sila to see you kasi ilang oras na rin ako
Yeah.
nawala eh.
Yeah.
And then, nandun pa yung baby ko na pag nakita ako, masaya naman siya, hindi niya ako nakikita. Pero pag nakita niya ako, bigla siyang iiyak kasi parang gusto niya na magpakuha, ganyan. So, parang,
Oh.
kakain ba ako or kukunin na kita? Parang gano'n. So, alam ko yung, na-anticipate ko na kasi nakita ko na yung pattern eh, kailan ba nangyayari. So, yun, parang inaalam ko na kung kailan mangyayari yung mga ganyan para I know paano ko atakihin eh. May plan of action na ako. So, yun, if I want na to have that peace and not to be out of sync too much in the morning or not to be overstimulated, I stay muna in the room and
Mm.
have my quiet time. And so, when I go out, ready na ako. Pero hindi talaga siya perfect eh. There are times
Yeah.
talaga na, kunwari kanina, just a concrete example, kanina kasi my husband had what you call this, interview sa TV. So, nakalimutan ko actually kasi sobrang puyat ko rin. Nakalimutan ko. So, nagising na lang ako na, oh, shucks, nandiyan na pala, on na pala siya sa TV. So, pumunta na ako. Hindi ko nagawa yung routine ko, di ba? And
Yeah.
so, hindi ko alam din kung ano yung ginawa nilang usap sa daughter ko para magstay siya sa isang room. But then, in the middle of me taking a video, she told me na parang, but mom, I want to call her. Eh yung ano niya, yung gamit niya, nakatabi lang nung table nung asawa ko na ini-interview live sa TV. So parang sabi ko sa kanya, can we do it? Yes, you can call her, but can we do it later? Tapos paulitan naman siya, but I want to call her. Ito na tayo. Sabi ko, okay, ito na. Ito na. Medyo hindi pa ako ready, pero ito na.
Mm.
So I have to be mindful na, okay, sisigawan ko ba ito? Magagalit ba ako? Or kakausapin ko na matino? And so,
Mm.
I put her aside inside her room where my youngest daughter is with the yaya. Doon sila naglalaro para hindi siya maingay. Pinasok ko siya doon. Sabi ko, what is happening outside? I want her to be aware of what's happening and not just say no. Di ba? Kasi pag nag-no ka, lalo matitrigger na parang, ala, pinagbabawalan mo ko, ha? Eh, gusto nga niya yung control, di ba? So, yun, parang sabi ko, what is happening?
Ipaglalaban.
Paglalaban nila yun. Kasi 3 years old eh. So, yung independence and paglalaban niya, katipunere stage na siya. So, yun.
Laban. Katipunero stage.
Oo, ganun. Madaming pinaglalaban. So, yun, parang sasabi ko, what is happening outside? Sabi niya, but I want to call her. I think she knows the answer, but she just wants to see if makakalusot siya. Sabi ko, siguro mga 5 beses ko tinanong yun, but what is happening outside? Sabi niya, dad is working. Sabi ko, yes. Di ba we saw him on TV? And if you get your crayons and your coloring book, what will happen? Sabi niya, I don't know. Sabi ko, you'll be seen on TV and you'll be noisy, ganyan, lalalala. Sabi ko, you can color, but can you wait? Alam mo yung wait talaga, medyo ano yan na word eh, mahirap yan sa age pa nila eh.
Yeah,
Yes.
Doon, yun yung
exactly.
pinaka-ano namin, even yung husband ko, pag nasa car kami, please wait, yan, hindi nila talaga makaya kasi ano pa eh, wala silang concept of time.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yun, kailangan ko rin maging aware na, okay, wala pa siyang concept of time. Yung wait natin, kailangan natin i-quantify. Meron
Yeah.
siyang, set your alarm, mom.
Nice.
5 minutes, set your alarm. Gagano'n siya sa akin. Sabi ko, okay, I will alarm 5 minutes, okay? 5 minutes, you go in the bathroom na, mga ganyan.
Oh.
So, yun. Ganun talaga. So, yun yung mga coping mechanism ko na parang ako mahilig ako mag-anticipate eh. Parang okay, alam ko na mangyayari to. So, ito yung plan of action ko. Itong gagawin ko para pag may nangyari to, ito yung plan B ko, ganyan. So, yun. Pero, kailangan din maging flexible tayo as parents talaga. As in, super flexible. Ayun.
Nice, nice. Ang nakuha ko po ay meron na pong bagong term, yung Terrible 2, Katipunero Stage. Yun po yung number
Oo.
1 kong nakuha ngayon sa question na to.
Madami sila pinaglalaban, girl.
Yes, marami po silang dahilan at mga kailangan
Parang may
ipaglaban.
diferensya na yung tenga.
Opo,
Oo.
Hindi na
Katipunero
narinig yung
Stage.
sinasabi mo, parang may diferensya na yung tenga nila.
Yes, yes. So, sa
Oo.
susunod po, tatanungin ka, anak, kailan ka nagpa-register sa KKK? Tsaka number 2, may natutunan din ako, yung quantifiable waiting time.
Mhm.
Kasi 'di ba kahit po ako, aminado po ako, talagang halatang may ADHD ako kasi pag kunyari po magwi-withdraw, ayan na. Kay BDO, sabi niya, we find ways. Pero ang haba ng pila. Ako, yung utak ko, maghahanap na ako. Sa utak ko, nag-google map na ako. Saan ang pinakamalapit na ATM? I'd rather walk there than to wait, stand, and wait in line. So, parang yun din, no? Quantifiable waiting time. I
Yeah.
need to quantify it. So, ayun, napakagandang ano din, no? Sharing ng mga answers. I get to learn something, no? Kasi, Mommy Jules, no? Occupation therapist. Si Momshy Irene din. Seasoned mommy na siya. Ako bagong mommy pa lang. So, yun.
Yeah.
So, for whoever na nag-ask ng question na yun, yun na po yung sagot ninyo. Develop that self-awareness. Know your triggers. Ano yung mga bagay na nakaka-trigger sa'yo. Like, same kami ni Mommy Jules. Noise. And yung pag kunyari, yung pinipindot na ako, ayun, ayoko na nun. Talagang, sabog ang aking kalayaan talaga nun. Parang, galit na galit talaga ako. So, yun, develop that self-awareness so that you will know kailan ka magiging out of tune. And then, plan a course of action din. So, very wonderful na sagot. Okay, moving on to the next question. Okay. As adults with late or diagnosed or suspected ADHD, what are your recommended practices on how we could heal and grieve the what-ifs of our imagined life of accommodation and understanding that we could have growing up? So, actually, I believe this question is also for me din. Kasi meron ng ano na to eh, meron ng halong ibang hugot ito. Ika nga. So, actually, I always tell myself then, no, it's also one of the DBT, dialectical behavioral techniques, skills na tinuturo. It's also a form of a therapy or CBT. And ang first thing na tinuturo when it comes to dealing with traumatic experience is you need to be in a place of acceptance. It is what it is. You need to accept in your heart that whatever happened. And it's not being positive. I'm not saying na you need to be happy that happened. You can be not grateful kasi it's really traumatic. Let's be honest. Hindi ka magiging grateful doon sa traumatic experience na yon. But you need to be in that very sweet spot in wherein you can say, I have accepted that I am a product of a very dysfunctional family, or I am a product of a traumatic experience. Acceptance. Buong buo. Walang halong walang bawas, walang kulang, walang sobra. Sakto. Accept that na yun, ito na yung present mo. And then from there on, once you accepted that and you felt na parang okay, ito na yung emotions mo, ito na yung sadness mo, disappointments, anger, everything. You just need to observe those feelings coming in. Don't don't give judgment. Feel what you need to feel. Grieve what you need to grieve. Cry. Cry lang ng cry until ma-process mo yung pain, yung grief. Kasi for me talaga, I have accepted the fact that I might never or I can never move on from that pain. Now, whenever I visit that memory, it will always be painful. That's my reality. However, though, very, very important thing na sinabi sa akin ng doctor ko. Actually, she gave me a new perspective about this. Kasi may saying na hurt people hurt people. Either these people hurt themselves or hurt other people. On another perspective, so another 3D perspective is that anger or that hurt is also an energy. So, you need to focus that energy into something good and productive. Like what I'm doing right now. Like this is my life testimony, really. I have undergone several things in my life na parang sabi nga ng kapatid ko, whenever she has assignments sa school na pang MMK daw ang kwento, laging ako yung mini-message niya. Sabi ko, wala ka na bang ibang ma-message? Bakit lagi na lang ako? So, yun, no? Okay, going back, bago mawala yung train of thought ko, na, wala na nga ng tuluyan. So, yun, grieving and acceptance of what happened. And then, from that perspective, yung energy na yun, now I am giving and devoting my time and energy into this advocacy in raising awareness. And from what I have realized that whenever I'm hearing other people's stories about adults din na may ADHD rin na they were not able to get that early diagnosis, nandun din yung pain nila, yung mga wrong decisions in life, yung mga kabalahura ang ginawa nila nung kabataan nila. Parang it's kind of healing and validating yourself din as well eh. So, ngayon, when I look back into my pain, meron ng associated memory with that pain na because of that pain, I was able to use that energy into raising awareness and connecting with people, with like-minded people, with ADHD rin. And we can all share and agree na, uy, naramdaman ko din yan, uy, nag-overbuy din ako, uy, hindi ko rin tinapos yung project na yan. And it's really healing na hindi ka nag-iisa. So, yun, no? Tapos, meron din ako dito nung habang dinidiscuss din namin tong answering to this question, no? Meron ako napakagandang quote na nabuo. Let go of what ifs, accept the what was, and work on your what can be's. You are now in the present, and always remember that whatever the enemy or the evil meant for bad, God has the power to turn it around and make something good out of your bad experience. And now, I am claiming that promise to God na, Lord, yes, there's this pain in my heart, but I want this testimony to give hope to people that there's a chance for healing. And that's not what I'm doing right now. So, yun, no, na let go of what ifs. Kasi hindi nangyari eh. And sayang yung energy kung lagi na lang tayong what if. Hindi na tayo makaka-move on sa bukas. Bukas, it's another day, di ba? It's another chance to work on your what can be's. Kung gusto mo nung bata ka, gusto mo kumanta, o ngayon, kumanta ka na bukas. May Spotify na, may YouTube na, meron na, accessible na yung mga mic, kumanta ka. Or kung gusto mong mag-drawing dati, marami ka ng resources ngayon, do it for yourself. And also, no, I was able to talk to a mommy na talagang very intentional siya with their child. Nakausap ko siya kanina and meron din, naramdaman ko yung what ifs na sana yung nanay ko ganun din. na maaga yung intervention, tas ngayon 24 years old na yung anak niya, tas tinutulungan niya. She's very very intentional about her child na nagawa niyang ma-observe yung anak niya at a very early age. Napatingin niya yung anak niya to a developmental pediatrician from the age of 6 or 7, and up until now na 24 years old na yung anak niya, pinapa-check up niya pa rin sa doctor. And it's like, oh my gosh, it's a very, very good what if. But in that moment, nag-what if ako, sana all, I have to let go of that kasi hindi ako mag-heal kung lagi kong hahawakan yung what ifs. Pero, yun no, nakaka-inspire and I have to look at it in a different ways, siguro. So, yun yung sagot ko. Parang ang
Mhm.
haba.
No,
Pero,
Mitch, I feel like what you've shared is that it's very important that you tackled your own ano ba, demons ba or fears or whatever past.
yeah,
In
yeah,
that
yeah.
way, I mean, not all people get through that process of healing, of forgiveness. They don't experience the grace of God too. They don't know that God has a purpose for your life, di ba?
Yes.
Um, I'm happy that you've made this podcast. You've turned that dark past into something more productive and good. And ito yung podcast na yun, sharing awareness, di ba? Creating
Yeah.
awareness to a lot of people. Kasi nga, I guess it's not just you. Madaming naka-experience niyan, di ba?
Yes, yes.
Hindi lang nila naiintindihan. Like ako, in my past, parang malay ko naman ba na ADHD pala yun? Kala ko,
Mm.
mabagal lang talaga ako. Bakit pa nagbasa ako? Kasi pre-med, di ba? Bakit pa
Yeah.
nagbasa ako ng medical books namin? Ang bagal-bagal ko mag-aral. Ang dami kong mga ginagawang rituales. Kailangan ko pa isulat, kailangan ko pa makinig ng ganito. Bakit naman yung kaklase ko, isang kinig lang, gets ka agad? Ako hindi.
Yeah, yeah,
Sabi
yeah.
ko, meron akong parang low self-esteem ko rin na parang, baka mahina ako makagets, parang ganyan. Pero ang galing ko naman sa ibang bagay. Alam mo yun?
Yeah.
So, when that happened na I got diagnosed during my adulthood na, syempre after college na to when I about to get married na to I realized na, yun nga, na parang, okay, yung pala yun. Na parang, for me, yung process ko noon, that's why hindi ganun ka-heavy yung acceptance ko nung diagnosis is that uh, it's only by the grace of God that time na stage ng life ko, I got to know Him already. And I just know that everything that happens to me or in my life, He has a purpose for it. And
Yeah.
walang tapon kay God eh. Like yung experience mo noon, yung mga
Yeah.
hurts mo sa past mo, I mean, walang tapon kasi ngayon nagagamit mo siya as your living testimony, di ba? So yun, there are no wasted experiences kay God. He will use it for His glory, di ba?
Yes.
So yun,
Yes.
yun lang naman yung sa akin na parang live in the present nga. Just like what we said, na there's always hope, there's always grace, there's always new things. Parang we are new creations na nga, sabi nga ni God, di ba?
Yeah,
So yun,
yeah, yeah, yeah. I really
yun.
do believe in that talaga, Ate Jules. And actually, no, hindi pa tapos or alam kong hindi matatapos yung mga gabi kong pag-iyak-iyak ko talaga. Pero ngayon, yung pag-iyak ko is thankful ako kay God na nalagpasan ko yun. Minsan yung parang may gulat factor na, tapos na? Yun na yun. Tapos parang I'm amazed na I was able to survive it. Seriously, no? Kasi di ko pa nakukwento ng buo yung buhay ko, pero several times I attempted to take my own life. Several times. And there's this one night na iniyak ko kay Lord lahat. Iyak na ako ng iyak. Sabi ko, Lord, gusto ko na umuwi sa'yo. Kasi sabi mo, may bahay ako sa langit. Sorry, trigger warning Gusto ko na umuwi kasi dyan sa heaven may tatay ako, may magulang ako, may bahay ako. But then, God gave me strength and I promised to God na hindi na ako pupunta sa ganung point ulit. Na, okay, decided na ako, babubuhay ako. Magde-decide ako, mabuhay ako para sa'yo. And
Yes.
yun, tapos at that point in time, I never went back to being suicidal. praise God talaga, hallelujah. After that night,
Mhm.
iniyak ko lahat kay Lord. Hindi na ako bumalik sa pagiging suicidal. Though the pain is still there. The pain is
Mhm.
still there. There's no promise that it will be removed. Pero faith also means na kahit through suffering, you can still praise and worship the Lord. So yon, na not by my own wisdom, no, na I am not here not because I know what to do. I am not here because I have read this journal sa Google, whatever, watching
Mhm.
videos sa YouTube. But I am here only by the grace of God alone.
Yes.
And
Amen.
Him taking care of me is, I have really seen a parent or a father in Him. Talaga. All times
Mhm.
talaga. So, yun.
Mhm.
Ikaw, Ma'am Irene. Sorry.
It's okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So, what,
So the question was, ano yung practices?
ano parang, paano sila mag-heal, paano sila mag-move on sa mga what ifs. Kasi, di ba late diagnosis, parang ang dami pang
Um,
maling nagawa noon. So, yun.
Ako, I don't busy myself with the what ifs kasi it doesn't, wala naman akong magagawa. That's all just what if,
Mm.
diba? So, like you said na to accept what is there, yon, it's very important. I remember yung sinabi ni Eckhart Tolle. Eckhart Tolle is a spiritual leader.
Mm-hmm.
He went through many years of depression and anxiety hanggang sa nagkaroon siya ng spiritual awakening. And I follow him, I listen to him, and I read his book. And he says na never work against a situation. Always accept the situation as if you wanted it,
Mm.
and never work against it. You work with it.
Mm.
So, kasi if you work with it, bukas yung isip mo eh.
Yeah.
Hindi ka nag-resist. When you're in a position na nagko-complain ka, um, yung iritang-irita ka doon sa
Mm.
sitwasyon, you're not in a position of acceptance. So, hindi bukas yung isip mo sa solution.
Mm.
Mhm.
Yes,
yung,
yes.
and parang, and one of the things I really avoid doing is comparing myself. Comparison is the beginning of unhappiness.
Mhm.
As soon as you start comparing yourself, it's endless. There's always somebody who's prettier, smarter,
Yes.
better, faster, etc. Saka matatapos.
Wala
And in
po.
the meantime, you're overlooking your own good qualities. Kasi we're
Mhm.
all blessed with good qualities na na-overlook na natin kasi nakatingin ka na doon sa kapitbahay, nakatingin ka na doon sa ano, doon
Mm.
sa katabi mo pag nagyo-yoga ka, mas flexible siya kaysa sa akin. Ako hanggang dito lang ang kaya ko, siya naaabot, nahahalikan niya yung kanyang tuhod, yung mga ganun. If you start comparing yourself, it's really endless. And you will
Mhm.
make yourself voluntarily unhappy.
Mhm.
Voluntary yun
Yeah.
kasi hindi wala naman nagsasabi sa'yo, isipin mo yun eh. So you're voluntarily making yourself unhappy by comparing yourself. I don't do that. And especially now, itong last few years, right
Mm.
before the diagnosis, ang feeling ko parang nag-unfold yung buhay ko because of
Oh.
some very painful experiences. And I kept thinking, there's something I need to do to change this because it can't be just this all the time na napaka-unhappy ko. And in 2021, I think that's when I started meditating daily. I was
Mm.
able to find a book where nagtuturo siya ng meditation not for busy people, not for kasi yung minsan yung mga techniques of meditation, a lot of people say hindi ko yan kaya, hindi ko yan kaya.
Oh,
But she
yeah, yeah,
teaches it
yeah.
in a different way. It's something for busy people. So
Mm-hmm.
yung kayang-kaya mong gawin, it's easy. And yun yung isa. And also, especially after I got diagnosed, nagbabasa talaga ako about ADHD. And it's, understanding myself. I always see it as everything around me changes if I change myself. Kasi we're
Yes.
all interconnected. And if I change, everything around me changes. So pag naiinis ako sa isang tao, hindi ko siya i-convince to change.
Mm-hmm.
I will change me. And when I do that, everything around me changes.
Nice. The
That's what I
synergy,
see.
no? Mm-hmm. Yes, yes, yes. It's interconnected. Ika nga. And also,
Yeah.
yeah, I would also then, no, like to remind then everyone who's listening right now na meron din talaga tayong inner child. And tayong mga na-diagnose ng ADHD, reading about the diagnosis, tips from other people is also helping ourselves then, that inner child. No? Na actually, whenever I'm praying din, actually, pag sa gabi naman, I always tell her, just, parang purihin, parang, hindi naman purihin, parang just tap on the back. Whenever I do something good for the day. Like, Michelle, thank you for being so patient today. I really do appreciate that. And I tell myself that kasi na I'd love to be in that place wherein I appreciate who I am. Tama ka dun, Mom Shane, na parang you should avoid comparing yourself and your life experiences with other people. Kasi the mere fact that you were able to stand here and still breathing, that means na kaya mo. Na-survive mo. And it's not working well with everyone. Like, kung kinaya ng isa, it doesn't mean na kaya ng isa or kaya ng iba. Kung kinaya mo, hindi ibig sabihin, yung taong kaharap mo, kinaya yung kakayanin, yung napagdaanan mo. So, very important point, don't compare yourself.
Yeah.
Mhm.
At saka pagka napupunta ako sa situation na medyo uncomfortable, I always think about what is my participation in this? Kasi way back, pag naiinis ako, parang nakikita ko lahat ng tao sa paligid ko may kasalanan pera ako. Nakakainis naman siya. Ito kasi. But then over the years, parang naisip ko na, no, this is not helping you. And then I started to have a little bit more humility, and I would say, anong participation mo dito? I
Yeah.
try to become one of the solutions instead of being part of the problem. Kasi
Nice.
kung minsan, di ba, parang awang-awa ka sa sarili mo, parang, paano ka ba napunta dyan? Di ba? And then
Yeah.
also, yung every experience has something wonderful. The key is just to find yung gift na yon. And even in situations in the past, yung mga taong I would realize na yung mga tao who would push my buttons, yung nasaktan ako, yung practice ng meditation, that came from a very hurtful experience with another person. So sabi ko, wow. Actually, nasabi ko sa kanya, sabi ko, thank you Thank you kasi dahil sa'yo, nasa ibang lugar na ako ngayon. Totoo yun. Hindi lang natin nire-realize at that moment. Parang galit na kita, hindi na kita kakausapin habang buhay. Pero kung iisipin mo ng mabuti, dahil nangyari yun, nag-move forward ka.
Yeah.
Because the universe really wants us to evolve. So,
Yes.
nare-reveal ko minsan in very hurtful situations, something gets revealed. And what happens there is you're supposed to evolve and move on. So, kung nasa-stuck ka din sa sarili ko, nakakaasap tong taon to, ikaw, hindi na kita kakausapin kahit kailan. Pero, na-realize ko na, oo nga, no? Oo nga,
Yeah.
napunta ako dito dahil sa kanya. So, kung minsan, although it's very painful, minsan, kailangan natin yun. Hindi ka mapupush into something really good kung laging comfortable ka lang.
Nice. Yes.
There's nothing's going to, matututo ka bang maging flexible kung ang buhay mo laging madali? No.
No.
'Di ba? Tingnan mo yung mga tao na dumaan sila nung childhood nila na konti lang ang pera nila. Tumanda sila, they're very flexible. Pag konti lang yung pera nila, okay lang. They can do with little. Pag marami silang pera, they appreciate more. Imbes na yung gusto ko comfortable lang lagi. Pag wala na yung pera, di mo alam kung gagawin sa sarili mo. Wala ka ng appreciation with the little stuff.
Yeah.
With the little stuff, wala ka ng appreciation, wala ka ng gratitude.
Yes.
Yes, I like that, yung gratitude.
Diba?
Yun yung actually isi-share ko eh. Gratefulness eh. It's a very, very important practice na you have to be grateful in everything.
Yes.
Small things, big things, ganyan. Kasi it changes you eh. It changes your mindset, it changes your mood, it changes everything. So when you become grateful, yun nga hindi mo na may isip yung mga what if na yan because you're in the moment na.
Yes. Actually, okay, nalimutan ko na naman po kung saan ko to nabasa. Pero I think sa pinalo ko na doctor from Canada na ADHD specialist siya. Ang sabi niya, for people na may ADHD, being in the present is already a form of meditation. Kasi you're doing your best to focus your energy and your mind into what's happening right now and kung anong meron ka at the present moment. So, I took that advice and then whenever I feel down, kasi I also have major depression. So, whenever I feel down, I just count my blessings. I thank God for my family. I have a very beautiful daughter. I have this platform now that I get to raise awareness and spend my energy on it. I have a very wonderful job right now na I'm into parang God put me in a situation wherein I will experience promotion, and then it's a very good work environment for me then as well, and then things are going good, and then suddenly I feel better.
Mm-hmm.
Suddenly I feel better kasi parang magiging humble na lang ako na ba't pa ako magrereklamo.
Mm-hmm.
'Di ba? And then ang gusto ko rin yung sa sinabi ni Momsh Irene na accountability. Practice that accountability. What is your contribution in that
Yeah.
bad situation?
Yeah. Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
'Di ba?
Instead of blaming others or
Yeah.
magko-complain ka, paano ka nakarating dito?
Mm-hmm.
Actually,
Yes.
meron akong friend, very very close friend na for the longest time she was in a very unhappy relationship. And then
Mm.
finally she decided to leave that relationship and nasa France na siya ngayon and mas maganda yung buhay niya. Tapos sabi ko, 'di ba? Buti na lang bunisit ka niya ng buwisit na buwisit ka kasi kita mo ang ganda ng
Yeah.
buhay mo ngayon. Hindi mo nakikita ko minsan na actually para silang chess piece eh.
Yeah.
Malungkot man isipin na sila yung bad person, quote unquote lang bad ha. Kasi I don't believe in that. I think may role silang ipiniplay. They
Mm.
played that role. So parang chess piece sila sa buhay mo. And sabi ko sa kanya, you should be grateful to him. Kasi he taught you this kind of independence. For the first time in her life, nag-iisa siya. Wala siyang yaya and she had 3 kids. Maloka-loka siya sa
Mm.
papano. Pero what happened? In time, natuto na niya na ako lang ang gagawa nito. So nagkaroon siya ng routine. And she stopped complaining
Nice.
na, lilinisan ko pa yung bahay, yung 3 bata, susunduin ko pa isa sa school. Wala na. Parang okay, alam ko, ako lang ang gagawa. So today, ito yung una. Yung
Mm.
paglilinis, it can wait. Wala naman yung deadline. Hindi mo na ako mamamatay kung hindi makintad yung sahig. Yung mga ganon.
Yes.
Pero
Yes.
yung role na na-play nung husband niya, although it was very hateful in the past, it brought her there.
Mm.
You don't see it at that moment when you're stuck in that icky situation. Pero actually, kung di dahil sa kanya, hindi niya na-gain lahat yon.
Yes.
So I think you have to also look back with gratitude, even for those who treated you poorly. There's something that changed in you that made you go forward because of
Mm.
that.
Yeah, yeah. And it's very
Chess piece
healing.
lang sila.
Yes. Actually, meron ako dyan, Mom's Irene. Like, minsan, pag gusto ko patawanin yung sarili ko, sinasabi ko na walang bida kung walang kontrabida.
Yeah.
Siyempre, buhay ko to, bida ko, di ba? So,
Mm-mm.
walang bida kung walang kontrabida. Pero, kidding aside, it's a matter of, hindi na, parang, even though, ganun sila, and, hindi naman natin deliberately pinili mapunta sa ganung sitwasyon. Pero you have to understand that whatever will happen tomorrow, accountable ka na din dun. What are you going to do with your pain, with your learning? Tama si Ma'am Irene na you cannot be patient without testing your patience. You cannot be
Yeah.
hopeful kung hindi ka nagsuffer, right?
Mhm.
Hindi ka
Exactly.
hindi ka magiging
Hindi mo
matipid.
ma-appreciate. Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. And as a
Yeah.
human,
There are many people na pag hindi na nila, yeah, sorry.
sige lang, Ma'am
Hindi kasi
Irene,
pag
sige.
hindi,
Kikinig lang ako.
pag hindi nila matiis yung situation nila, alam mo yun, they don't find ways anymore kasi sanay na sila madali eh. Whereas
Hmm.
alam mo and sometimes I also think ito recently ko lang to na natutunan kasi sinasabi nung si Jay Shetty, dati siyang
Mhm.
monk. He would
Mhm.
always say, if it doesn't work out, just chill. It's part of the plan. Kasi talaga namang,
Mm.
in actual fact, ano bang gagawin mo? Let's say, you're going to Makati tapos you got stuck in traffic, gigil na gigil ka na, ano magagawa mo? Lilipad ka. So
Yeah.
kung minsan sasabihin ko, chill, it's all part of the plan. Eh paano kung nauna ka doon tapos way ahead of you, ikaw pala yung mababanggang car?
Oh, yes,
So
yes.
mabuti na lang na late ka, di ba?
Mhm.
So kung minsan you have to say, chill, it's all part of the plan. Wala naman tayong magagawa kung
Yeah.
maghihimutok tayo, you're here, dito ka
Mhm.
lang muna.
Yes.
And one other thing that Eckhart Tolle always says is, unhappiness starts is when you're here, but you're wanting to be there. Kasi you're not
Mm.
there. And you will always be unhappy kasi you keep wanting to be there, but you're here. So anong
Yeah.
gagawin mo ngayon? You have to accept here. Mamaya ka pa dun
Nice.
sa there.
Then parang alam ko po yung sinasabi niyong parang feeling ko Wait, babalikan po kita dyan, Moms Irene. Feeling ko kilala ko yung sinasabi mo
Si
eh.
Eckhart.
Yeah, yeah,
And
parang feeling ko lang talagang kilala ko siya. Pero anyway, no, ang ganda nun. Ang gandang ang tip. May ADHD man o wala. You're
Mhm.
a
yeah.
human being, and ang advantage po natin sa mga animals is we don't run on instinct. We have the capability and freedom to choose. That's why we
Mhm.
have minds. We have the freedom. We have the free will.
Free
And
will.
that's our, yun lang lagi ko sinasabi whenever I'm emotional. I'm not an animal. I have the power to not act on my instinct. And I can change my reaction to my emotion. So, yun.
Mhm.
Ganda, napakaganda. So, alright. So, down to the second to the last question. So, ito medyo technical naman siya. So, ang sabi niya is, a lot of people are struggling with ADHD and a lot of us cannot afford to even get a diagnosis. May it be due to financial barriers or lack of access to ADHD aware or trained healthcare providers. Some professionals still do not have much knowledge on ADHD, especially adult ADHD in women with comorbidities. How can we make evidence based treatment, accommodation, and education more accessible for everyone? How will this event and organization help? How can we manage the trauma of being ridiculed, invalidated, and being ridiculed all our life? So I believe the last question we have already answered to from the previous question, but this asker has raised a very important question, and I would like to pick on your minds, Moms Irene and Jules. What is your take on that question? Ikaw, Momshy Jules.
Oo. Haba yung question niya eh, no?
Nga eh.
Dun sa a lot of people are struggling with ADHD, a lot can't afford to get diagnosis kasi lack of access yun nga. Yeah, of course, yung financial barriers are huge, but
Mm-hmm.
there are other options locally for every budget option from PGH and the like. So for me naman, I've worked with a lot of charity cases
Mm.
in different clinics. So yun, you just have to do your research talaga.
Yeah.
Most of them go to government hospitals,
Mm-hmm.
PCMC, PGH, and other. Even TMC has charity programs yan. So
Oh.
you just have to do your research talaga. And then yung sa clinics naman, it depends where you are. Better kasi like for example, taga South ka,
Mm-hmm.
dami naman dyan mga clinics sa South, and then you just have to look sino yung nag-offer ng charity program. So,
Yeah.
there are a lot of ways din. Pwede ka rin mag-reach out to ADHD Society of the Philippines.
Mm.
They are very knowledgeable with ADHD. They are very well connected with a lot of professionals
Mm-hmm.
and parents and support groups. So, yun, madami makakatulong sa iyo.
Yeah.
So, with the other naman, the knowledge of the professionals and sa ADHD in women, comorbidities, ganyan, evidence-based and stuff like that. Yun nga, it's simple. You just have to promote the industry, create
Mm-hmm.
awareness. The bigger it gets, the more free or low-cost options are also will become available. So,
Yeah.
yun, yung ginagawa natin, we create awareness so that
Mm-hmm.
people would know about ADHD, we become advocates. And then there will be more research. Like for example nga, dati mas alam lang nila lalaki lang yung nagkakaroon, pero ngayon alam na nila na pati pala babae pwede rin magka-ADHD.
Mm.
So, mas madami na nadadiagnose ng mga babae. Also, mas madami na rin nadadiagnose ngayon na adults.
Yeah.
So, with that, a lot of adults with ADHD are creating awareness, and just this upcoming, 'di ba, NatCon ng
Mm.
ADHD Society of the Philippines, first time na magkaroon ng adults yung mainly purpose ng national conference, 'di ba? Which is the metamorphosis. So, yun. For me, lumalawak na naman na lumalawak. We just have to do our part. Let's be movers, let's be advocates din.
Mm-hmm.
So, yun.
Yes, yes. And also pala, si Mom's Irene has to go. Pero, yeah, Mom's Irene, any just, quick take on that question before we let you go?
Yeah, yung actually nabanggit niyo na lahat eh. Siguro as a first step, ako kasi when I first got diagnosed, I didn't know where to go. I really didn't. Pero
Mm.
my very first step was in ADHD Society.
Oh.
I paid the membership immediately.
Mm.
Tapos sa kanila ako humingi ng referral because I thought bago ako magpaligoy-ligoy kung saan-saan, marami din kasi akong mga nababasa or naririnig ng mga tao na they were incorrectly diagnosed. Sasabihin sila, "De, wala yan, wala ka, pero halatang halata." Imagine
Mm.
magbabayad ka ng professional fee, hindi yun mura. Tapos
Yeah.
mami-misdiagnose ka, baka bigyan ka pa ng gamot na hindi naman para sa'yo. So,
Yes.
to me, it was important na tanungin mo na yung experts. And if
Mm-hmm.
you can't afford it, then speak up and say, do you know of any other options? Kasi kung beginner ka pa lang at wala kang alam, ask them. They
Mm-hmm.
would know yung
Yes, yes,
sources.
yes, yes.
And from there, ipopoint ka na nila.
Yes, definitely. Thank you, Mom Irene. But we're sorry we have
Thank
to,
you
ano
so
na.
much. I'm
Thank you,
sorry I
Mommy
have to leave a
Irene.
little early.
It's
Thank you,
okay,
Ren.
Oh,
it's
Dami ko
okay.
natutunan sa inyo. Very
Yeah, me too.
enriching.
kami din.
Kami din. Okay, okay lang. Kami na yung
Sige.
bahala sa last question.
Sige. Kaya nyo na yan.
Alright. Thank you, Mommy
Okay. Thank
Thank
you
you,
so
Irene.
Mommy
much.
Irene.
Bye.
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 Grabe, thank you, Mommy. Kasi talagang parang magandang buhay na to, no?
Ang
Grabe.
sayang usapan eh. At least
Yes.
na lalabas natin yung magandang thoughts natin, di ba?
Yes, yes. And yon, my take on that question is that yun nga kaya nga we're doing raising awareness eh kasi
Mhm.
we have to keep in mind the science is evolving.
Mhm.
No?
Mhm.
Na
Mhm.
yung ginagawa nila ngayon or in the past, maaaring may mas ma-discover pa sila in the future. So it's all
Mhm.
about awareness and continuous education sa general public kasi actually meron pong mga free or cheap, very mura lang na services na ino-offer ang UERM, online din ng kanilang appointment, pwede ka din magpa-appoint ng online sa kanila, 150 pesos lang. May konting hintayan lang, pero tiyagain mo lang. 'Di ba, ma'am?
Mm-mm.
Meron
Mm-mm.
din, ano pa ba? Meron din, I just heard from last week, the LGU of Muntinlupa, they decided to give one day you free services for mental health na may mga doctors doon, psychologists, and they were able to give free services to the general public. And I think
Mm.
that's the reason why we are doing this, we are raising awareness. Kasi syempre we need to speak up as a general public na, hey, meron talaga to, it's a really a public health concern. I do believe 10 years from now, ADHD is gonna be a public health concern or, depression is gonna be a public health concern. And I believe Quezon City is already primed for that. Kasi di ba, pwede na sila magbigay ng free mental health medications for free. Pakita mo lang yung reseta mo and they will give you your prescription. So, and also then, no, sa mga local LGUs din natin, maiba lang ako. May binibigay din silang mga free medications for diabetes and high blood. And
Mm.
let's go back in the past. Na dati wala naman pang ganito noon and there are people who stepped up and raised awareness about it and now we're reaping the benefits of that. So,
Mhm.
ngayon may free medications na for diabetes, for high blood. The government has seen it that it's gonna be a public health concern and I do believe 10 years or 5 years from now na magiging public health concern na rin ang depression, anxiety, and ADHD. And we need to raise awareness. That's why we are doing this right now. So for whoever who asked this question, if you don't know what to do, please message ADHD Society of the Philippines. They can guide you. And also that's one of the things that I did first. When I figured out I have ADHD, minessage ko talaga sila what to do, kaninong mga doktor ako pwedeng lumapit. Kasi syempre din, no, let's give the benefit of the doubt din sa ating mga doctors na konti lang talaga yung ratio ng doctors to patient talaga everywhere around the
Mhm.
world, no? And hindi naman yung porke meron ng research about adult ADHD ngayon ay automatic trained na agad sila. So, ganon na talagang let's just do our due diligence in finding the right doctor. And like what I would like to say to everyone na ourselves, we should advocate for ourselves, for our own body, for our own health. dapat po tayo talaga ang promotor sa pag-aalaga sa ating katawan at isip.
Mhm.
Ayun,
Mhm.
so yun, wala pong excuses. Gawa lang po tayong paraan. Lapit po sa LGU, and also, by the way, I would also like to say na, for example, kung wala kang pambili ng gamot, you can approach DSWD like what I did last week kasi hindi nga mura ang gamot for ADHD. I ask for financial assistance, and you can also do that as well. Wala na talagang, moms, wala na talagang reason para hindi na gawin. Hindi na
Mhm.
po
Mhm.
mag-approach, So, yon sige. Last question. Actually, ito po yung winner ng face-to-face passes. Napakagandang tanong. How
Mm.
important is to be an advocate for our ADHD child? Ikaw, Momsh.
Mhm. Yan pala ang winner, ha?
Ganda eh. How important eh.
Yeah, it's very important nga kasi nga we should be the one for our child, 'di ba, yung question.
Yeah.
We should be the one to we should be the first one to advocate, especially for our children.
Yeah.
Kasi nga we should create awareness. Um, these children kasi ano pa sila eh, they don't know what to do, 'di ba? We are the
Yeah.
ones that will that will guide them, that will help them. Um, simply relating it to the first question sa school, 'di ba?
Yes.
If you don't advocate for your child, if you don't know na yun nga, may ADHD siya or whatever, if you don't speak up, you don't collaborate or don't create awareness, ginudge mo na lang kagad na, ay, masama na itong batang
Yeah.
to. Diba? Anong mangyayari? So we should be the ones as parents, as adults, to advocate for
Yeah.
them. And after creating that awareness, magre-ripple effect na nga na you would have evidence-based na treatments na gusto nyo, na studies, a lot of people will be
Yeah.
diagnosed too, na tama kasi madaming namin
Yes.
misdiagnose, di ba?
Yes, yes, yes.
Also sa law, we can also legally have rights to things, di ba?
Yeah.
Part as being part of DWDs, ganyan.
Yes, yes, yes.
Um, so yun, for me, kailangan tama din yung way of advocating, positive
Yeah.
lang, hindi yung para tayo nakikipaglaban or nakikipag-away parate na ito
Katipunero
kasi
mode.
kami o katipunero mode. Dapat we advocate positively what are the strengths of ADHD rin, ganyan.
Oh,
Hindi na lang
yes.
yung puro flaws lang ng ADHD because yun nga, I think of it as we have our superpowers, di ba? We have our
Yeah.
strengths more than anything else. We can do a lot of things that other people cannot do because tayo, may ADHD tayo, di ba?
Yes, yes. And
So,
yeah.
yun lang naman. For me, we need to be advocates nga.
Yes, yes. Naalala ko po yung sabi ni Coach Heidi na ADHD is not all about weaknesses. Eh. You have to know your child's strength. Diba? Yan, yun, baby ko. Kahit maingay siya, diba? Very smart siya, pero yun nga, going back, bago ako mawala sa aking train of thought. As a product din ng childhood na hindi maganda din, siguro, I'm speaking from that place na ako yung anak and at the same time, ako din yung magulang. So, at for whoever who asked this, advocating doesn't mean pangungunsinte. Hindi po yun iisa. Kasi when you're advocating for your child, ang ibig sabihin lang nun, you always have that goal in your mind or outcome in your mind na gusto mong mapabuti yung anak mo. So, what are you going to do to achieve that outcome that you want? Gusto mong mapabuti yung anak mo? Ano yung mga steps ngayon na kailangan mong gawin? Is it listening to your child na mag-rant pag may problem sila sa school? Or letting them paano ba, i-express yung emotions nila or describe what they are feeling, maaaring ganun din. And working with your child then to achieve that outcome, that same amount of validation and respect will prompt your child to have a better future. Kasi I really do believe na lalo na nung pinag-aaralan ko a lot of these things when I became a mom, I'm really doing my due diligence to do my research, what to do with my child, pag ganito na siya, ganyan. And actually, just recently pala, I think it was 2 years ago, pre-pandemic, sabi ng mga scientists, they have figured out na kapag mas niyayakap mo daw yung anak mo, mas lumalaki daw yung gray matter sa utak. Yung gray matter is responsible for logical thinking, yon, parang learning, thinking, and yon, all in all, na mas mapapabuti yung kanyang brain efficiency or brain growth. Tapos, kinompare nila yung CT scan na yon to a child na inabandon, nasa orphanage, and they have seen humongous difference. That's why the scientists, sinasabi nila na always hug your child. Lalo na pag during developmental year. So, that's what we do. Kahit pagod na kami ni hubby, nagmamaktol na siya and all, puyat na kami, we see to it that we hug her talaga. Now, we little by little, nakikita namin yung improvement sa kanya. Like, for example, kung mag-tantrum na siya, sandali na lang. Tapos, it's, when we say na, bawal muna ang TV, kailangan muna kumain, hindi na siya nagwawala. Unlike before, nagwawala talaga siya. So, nandun yung, now we see. Kasi we advocate for a child. And especially to your child na may ADHD, mga mommies, whoever's listening, always keep in mind that whatever your child do, hindi nila intention na manakit. Anything na your child do bad, like makasira ng gamit, makakalimutan ng assignment, maligaw, whatever mo, wala ang cellphone, makapanakit ng classmate, always be on their good side. Always ask them and validate what they are feeling and know the reason why they do those such things. Kasi, when they grow old, kasi hindi naman tayo forever dito sa earth, hindi naman tayo mabubuhay, di ba? Nang matagal na matagal. And when that time comes na they have to stand on their own 2 feet, they will have that armor in them na, okay, because my mom or my dad became patient with me, even though I have ADHD, I will be patient towards myself. And that's one thing na sinabi sa akin ng doctor ko na very meaningful na is that for people who are suffering from emotional dysregulation, it's because during their developmental years from the ages of 1 to 7 until teenager years and then until to became adulthood, they don't have that programming in their mind na yung parang yung nurturing motherly love na whenever they're having huge emotions, anger, sadness, frustration, and everything, wala yung programming na yun na, okay, ito na, pag ginayakap ko na si nanay, makakomfort ako, mariregulate ako. And sad to say, that is the reason why marami ng mental health issues ngayon. Eh, paano pa kaya kung yung bata may ADHD? Kung may emotional dysregulation na siya noon at hindi niya na-receive yung ganong care from you as a parent, paano pa kaya siya pag tumanda na? Kasi hindi mo na yun maire-reprogram ulit eh. Ngayon, pag tumanda siya, mahihirapan na siya. So, that's one, no? Emotional dysregulation. That's what I would like to always tell parents talaga na, please lang po, be patient with your child. Always be on their good side. And wag nyo pong pagdududahan yung anak niyo. Always believe na yung anak nyo, meron siyang inner goodness in his or her heart. Wag niyo namang parang, okay, pag nanakit, bad agad yung anak ko. Hindi ganun. So, that's one. And two, pag sa mga may adult na may ADHD, no, I believe we will all agree na hirap tayong tumanggap ng stress sa buhay. That the stress tolerance. Na konting delay lang sa sweldo, parang, papanik ka na, or hindi mo lang, nalimutan mo lang bayaran yung tubig, naputulang kayo, magpapanik na kayo. So, those small things, mga parents, hanggat bata pa yung anak ninyo, may ADHD yung anak nyo, teach them how to tolerate stress. Kayo po talaga yung magtuturo sa kanila. Kunwari ako, hindi ko naman din na-receive yung ganong training. So ngayon ko pala siya pinag-aaralan. Pero mga mommies or mga daddies, whoever's listening, pag yung anak nyo po may ADHD, always keep in mind na yung care na binibigay nyo sa kanila ngayon, yung patience and yung love, that will set them up for an easier life in the future. Kasi given that they already have ADHD, executive function and everything, they will really have, it's already a given, they will have a hard time in adulthood. So please prepare them, equip them with love, with patience, with that warm, fuzzy love and care sa mga anak ninyo. That's how important it is. And also think about the next generation. Yung mga anak nyo magkakaroon din ng anak. Isipin nyo yung magiging apo nyo sa tuhod, apo nyo sa talampakan or whatever. Isipin nyo na yung care na ibibigay nyo sa anak nyo, yun din yung love na ibibigay nila sa magiging anak nila, and so on and so forth. So think of it as not just advocating for your child, but you're also leaving a legacy of love to the next generation after you. So yun, no, parang from micro to macro. Micro to macro lens. So yun, to answer din na very, not just very important, it's required, it's crucial. It's already a given when you're a parent. It's not just about giving them food, a roof above their heads, a room to sleep in. It's not just about that. It's already, ito ba yung ano yun ate, yung hierarchy of needs, Maslow's. Yeah, hierarchy of needs. Ayun, pag-aralan nyo yung triangle na yun. Yung parenting, physiological needs, bahay, pagkain is just the base. There are still 4 levels before they achieve that self-actualization. So, yun. That's why it's important to advocate for your child. And also, I am an advocate of good parenting. Yon. So, yon. Any last word, Momshy Jules, before we end this online podcast session?
Yeah, just to add to that, remember kanina sabi ko I was looking at a journal at 3 a.m. It was actually about parent ADHD and evidence-based treatment for their children. So ni-review lahat ng mga treatment plans for or interventions for ADHD.
Yeah.
Ang daming mga behavioral parent training, madaming mga parent friendship coaching, mga clinical care, so ganon. Hindi masyado nag-improve yung behavioral training. Ang nag-improve, alam mo kung nasaan?
Saan?
Pag andun yung parent, yung daddy specifically, yung father,
Oh.
sa training, at the same time, it's when the parents get their medication. Not the child getting their medication, but the parents getting medication.
OMG.
Yes.
Really?
Yes. So, ibig sabihin, nagre-rely talaga sa magulang yung success of ADHD family.
Pero that's really nice. Grabe, no? Evidence-based approach na po yan, ha? May study na yan.
Yeah, I
Peer-reviewed na yan.
I can actually send you the link of the
Sige,
of
sige.
the journal. It's very nice actually. Na nakakagulat na we are so big on behavioral training and things like that. Pero actually, the mere presence of the father, the mere presence of the mother, and the parents getting help, getting medicated, mas malaki palang impact yon kesa dun sa ina-isolate lang natin. Okay, therapy mo lang yung yung anak natin, punta ka dyan ng 1 hour sa therapy, behavioral training, tas uwi sa bahay, pero ganun pa rin yung bahay, di ba?
Yeah.
So, sabi rin doon, when the training is in the house, compared to having the training in the clinic, mas better sa house kasi andun yung generalization kagad. So, maganda yung study eh. So, yun, we as parents have a big role. ADHD or not. Yung father especially, yun may book eh, The World Needs a Father. By Cassie Kirsten. Maganda yung book na yun kasi yung absence of a father, malaki rin yung impact niya sa family and lalo na sa children. Pero pag andyan yung presence, just like the study here, maganda yung outcome.
Nice.
Even just the presence of the dad.
Nice.
And then, ako naman, honestly, yung ang dami kong discipline tactics or disciplining ways dun sa 3-year-old ko turning 4. Pero what I found na recently ko lang change ulit. what I found na effective for her, siya rin nagsabi, you just talk to me. Um,
Mm.
at a very young age of 3, I've done, nasigawan ko na rin siya, which is na sobrang doon ako na mom guilt. Napalo ko na rin siya.
Mm.
Um, meron lang kaming parameters kung kailan lang siya papaluin. And
Yeah.
meron siyang nagawa na kailangan siya i-discipline through spanking. Pero
Mm.
it wasn't out of anger. It
Yeah.
was out of ano lang talaga, kinausap namin siya. And then after noon, we processed it again with her and then we told her I love her. Tapos parang yung una actually very madrama eh.
Mm-hmm.
Pero kami umiiyak kasi hindi ko rin kaya. So
Yeah.
yun. Yeah, so yun. For me naman as a mom, what I learned about, I studied, when I studied it, yung pag lumaki niyo yung anak mo, yung voice mo as a mom, yung inner voice nila. So
Mm.
I realized that every time I shout at her or parati ko pinapagilitan, nagnanag, ganyan,
Yeah.
that would be the voice in her eh. That might
Oh.
create anxiety. So nasad talaga ako nung sabi ko, I have to change my ways. I have to unlearn what I learned from
Yeah.
my family din. Probably from my mom din. Kasi she doesn't know any better. Baka ganun din siya pinalaki, di ba?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
now that I am equipped with these things, positive parenting and things like that, it's not easy. But
Mm.
we try to be better parents, right?
Yes.
So, yun, parang sabi niya, just talk to me. Kasi just recently nga, yun nga, may ginawa na naman siya. Kasi you really have to take her out of that
Yeah.
something na gusto niyang gawin. Take
Mm.
her out of that environment para mawala yung impulse niya na, okay, gusto ko itong gawin, ganyan. So
Mm.
anyway, sabi sa kanya, go to the room with me. Sabi niya pa tapos at a very young age of 3 years old, nagulat ako sa kanya, let me guess, mom, what you're gonna do to me. You're going to punish me again. Nagulat
Oh.
talaga ako. Tapos parang sabi ko, really? You think of me as that na punish niya. I'm tired of you punishing me. Sabi niya gano'n. Sabi ko, okay. So how can I be a better mom? How can I, sabi sa kanya, how can I discipline you better? Sabi niya,
Mm.
just talk to me. Tapos sabi ko sa kanya, but I've talked to you a lot of times. You don't remember. Then, di ba sinabi ko sa'yo, just yesterday,
Uh-huh.
andun yung acceptance ko na, then she doesn't remember. Ganun lang talaga yung wiring ng brain niya eh.
Yeah.
Ano magagawa ko, di ba? Ganun nga. But my daughter is not yet diagnosed with ADHD. But both of us kasi ng asawa ko may ADHD eh.
Mm-hmm.
ADHD or not, if hindi niya matandaan, then so be it, di ba? Why punish
Mm-hmm.
someone that, yung ganun talaga yung brain niya eh. Pag
Yeah.
pinalo ko ba to, ano ba yun?
Mm-hmm.
So,
Mm-hmm.
sabi ko, just be patient with her. Kasi hindi tayo tinuruan na ganun eh. Na,
Mm.
okay, communicate. Parang galit ka agad eh. Lalo na
Yes.
ako, mataas yung emotional dysregulation ko eh.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so yun, parang we just need to be more patient, especially now that we know the brain wiring na
Yeah.
it's not out of willpower eh. It's
Mm.
really how the brain is wired. Ganun lang talaga yun.
Yes. Yes.
So, we should discipline them differently. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so yun lang naman.
Hearing them out, no, moms, na parang yun
Yes.
din na na-realize ko talaga when I was still undergoing my healing journey. One of the things
Mm-hmm.
that I realized that I was never respected for who I am. And
Mm-hmm.
that really made a huge impact on how I viewed my past experiences. Kasi there is still a time na parang sarili ko ginagaslight ko eh. Na parang, okay, I'm gaslighting myself again. And
Mm-hmm.
one of the things na my ADHD brings to me is that madali ako makalimot ng mga past hurts. Ano nagawa niya? Anong nagawa nito? Hindi ako natututo from those. So, parang ang tendency ko talaga mag-gaslight ng sarili. And then, when
Mm-hmm.
I was, doing my prayer, and then I was meditating, and then I was just talking to my husband, it just hit me like a bus. The respect
Mm-hmm.
was not there. And
Mm-hmm.
I told my husband na, hey, we need to let our child know that we respect her by talking to her first, validating her. Pag nagtatantrum siya,
Mm-hmm.
yakapin natin. Pero kapag may kailangan, syempre, dapat, controller pa rin kami kasi baby pa lang naman ni si Emma. Pero, nandun yung,
Mm-hmm.
they're never too young to feel respected. heard.
Mhm.
And that's already advocating. Actually, isa sa mommy sa group na sabi niya, I don't know what to do anymore. Sabi niya, na parang feeling niya failure siya as a mom kasi nga yung child niya may ADHD and parang hindi niya ma-impose or hindi niya ma-discipline yung anak niya. I just reassured her na, mommy, the mere fact that you're trying to understand and hear your child, it's you're already doing a good job already. And it's something na we don't, I mean, most of us doesn't have. And I just assured her na, and as long as you're listening to her, you're validating her, you're just by her side, you're already a good mom. You cannot be the best mom kasi, diba, tao lang tayo, nagkakamali. Pero try to be a good one
Mm.
and you're already doing a good job. So, yun.
Mhm.
Ang ganda ng usapan natin,
Mhm.
mom siya. I love it.
Yeah, I like what you said eh. Parang ano talaga, it's more of yeah, the root of all of everything lang talaga is compassion, 'di ba?
Mm.
Compassion to everyone.
Yes.
ADHD or not, for me, parang you have to be compassionate lang
Yeah.
dun sa pain nila. Parang especially the kids, sabi nga dun sa How to Talk so little kids will listen yung book na yun.
Mm.
When kids don't feel right, they can't behave right. So,
Yeah.
you communicate. Bakit? You accept their feelings and then you connect. Connect lang ng connect. Kasi
Mm.
ako, default ko dati, galit kagad ako eh.
Mhm.
Bawal,
Mhm.
bawal umiyak na matagal, ganyan.
Oh, yan.
So yun, connect lang tayo na parang and be compassionate. Oh, what is this person going through? 'Di ba?
Mm.
Parang how can I help you? Yan pala
Yes.
yung nararamdaman mo. Oo nga, no, mahirap nga yan. So how can we deal with it better? So it's
Parang,
it's not ako for me
mhm.
honestly hindi ko yung default ano yun eh, discipline or default route ng pakikipag-communicate sa anak ko eh. Pero
Mhm.
I'm trying talaga kasi nga kawawa naman, 'di ba?
Yes, yes. Tsaka mom siya, nung bata ako, lagi din ako sinasabihan na, oh, ba't ka iiyak? Parang yan lang, iiyak ka.
Mm.
Ngayon,
Mm.
nadala ko siya. Na until pagtanda ko,
Mhm.
pag hurt ako, disappointed ako, hindi first mode ang pag-iyak. It was never an option for me.
Mhm.
That's why all the feelings
Mhm.
have bottled up and it resulted to this.
Bottled up.
Depression and
Mhm.
everything. Now, I'm relearning it. Whenever I'm feeling sad, I need to cry. I need to let out a good cry. Like I'm telling myself, it's okay to cry,
Mhm.
Mitch. It's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to be open. It's okay to just cry it out. No judgment. Cry until you feel better. Because parang sinasabi ko, kaya nga
Mhm.
ginawa ni Lord na lumuluha ka eh. Gamitin mo. Umiyak
Mhm.
ka. And yun din yung
Mhm.
sinasabi ko kay hubby, kay baby, na okay, it's okay to cry. Talagang ganon. You're disappointed na walang TV
Mhm.
before eating. Yayakapin lang kita. Just validating you. I know it's hard.
Mhm.
Kasi dati ganyan din ako eh.
Mhm.
Yung ganon na I'm in a
Yeah.
very blessed place to be able to have empathy.
Mhm.
And it's a very extraordinary
Mhm.
privilege na I know what you're feeling, I know what you're
Mhm.
going through. And let's work on that together. Parang coaching talaga, no, moms? Yun yung coaching eh.
Mhm.
You're working with that person to come up with a
Mhm.
solution. Not you giving the solution, but you're working with that person, with your child, to work on a solution. So, yon. Just to end, cap this off, I hope to everyone who's listening right now and to anyone who will listen to this in the future, always remember na with ADHD or not, love is always the best answer. Always
Mhm.
love your child selflessly. And parang iparamdam nyo na meron silang kakampi sa buhay, whether good or bad. Kasi yun talaga yung role
Mhm.
natin. And always remember then na our children is a gift from God. God opened your
Mhm.
womb to carry that child. And that's a gift, not
Mhm.
a right. Treat
Mhm.
them with respect. Treat them with great consideration. Treat them with great love. Kasi hindi sila sa atin. Pahiram lang sa atin yan ng may kapal. So, yun.
Mhm.
Yung maraming salamat, Momshy Jules. Ang dami ko natutunan din tonight.
Oo nga, ako rin. This has been a great podcast or great talk.
Yeah.
I hope offline din we could talk about these things as well.
Oo naman.
Para
Let's
naman
continue.
magkaroon tayo ng community of moms doing these things.
Yes, good
Diba?
parenting. and
Mhm.
positive parenting din. And let's help one another din kasi we need to also advocate for ourselves. If you're experiencing depression, ADHD, or anxiety, have yourselves check mga mommies. Don't invalidate yourself kasi hindi natin alam yung pain na ta-transfer yan sa mga anak natin pag hindi tayo medicated, walang support group, and we're not doing anything for ourselves. So we cannot, basically, you cannot give what you don't have. Basically, yun yun.
Mhm.
It's part of parenting, taking care of ourselves. So, yun. Momsy
Mhm.
Jules, thank you so much po. And kay Mommy Irene,
Thank
kahit
you,
wala na siya.
Mitch.
Thank you so
Yes.
much. And to,
Oo nga, si Mommy Irene. Mm-mm.
yun. Si baby umiyak na, nagbigay na sa akin ng dede. Okay, so I really need to cut this off na. Sige po, God bless
Yes.
po. Thank you. Thank you,
God bless. We'll
everyone.
be praying for everyone. Okay,
Yes.
bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.